and welcome to the first ever Sports Nook. My name is Kayla, Webby, Ollie, Johnny G, all joining me here, and you're going to hear our hot takes. What was that?
I got a dab. I got a dab.
Ready for the hot take?
I got a dab.
Hot takes.
I'm like, dab already.
Right on
already.
beat. Right on
And I
beat.
already took offense to that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So our opinions, our hot takes on the hottest topics going on in our sports world. And guys, let's start off with the NBA. Let's not waste any time. 10 games last night. 2 of them went to overtime, so we're going to talk about those in just a second. But first, the Raptors dropping their third in a row.
Yeah, not doing too well in their West Coast swing, losing yet another road game to the Utah Jazz. The Jazz, though, got hot early, going on a 14-0 run in the first quarter. But shout out to Louis Scola, the holding down the Raps offensively. 18 points in the first half. He finished the game with 22. But guys, that fourth quarter, once again, get this. The Raps allowed 36 points in the final frame. 93-89, your final tally. Boys, what happened?
Fourth quarter execution again. Third straight game. I mean, we love to blame the referees. We love to blame the officials. But they're just getting outscored in the fourth quarter the last 3 games. Can't do that on the road.
You got something against Toronto fans, and you see me, I'm wearing Toronto versus everybody. Because there is an issue sometimes, Webby. I know sometimes you say, you know, us as fans in Toronto, we get bent up with the referees and thinking the refs are against us. But did you not see those 3 plays in Golden State?
Listen,
the offensive rebound from Corey Joseph, the offensive foul on Kyle Lowry, where he's getting his arm tugged. How is that a foul on him?
you know how you get the referees to make those calls? By not putting yourself in that position. By not letting those leads that you had in the fourth quarter and the second half slip away.
Right.
Okay, boys, but instead of ripping the Raptors, instead of ripping the referees, why don't we give a little credit to the opposition here?
Right.
I mean, Golden State, obviously the world champions. The Utah Jazz, though,
Pretty
are the
good.
best defensive
Pretty
team
good.
in the league.
They're
The best
very
defensive
good.
team the second half of last year.
Yeah.
They're the best defensive team through 10 games this season. So I don't think there's any shame in losing to the Utah Jazz.
I don't.
You're crazy if you think they're not going to make the playoffs in the West.
I don't. These are good teams, and the Raptors are also a good team. It's just when games come down to these critical points, and you're playing these good teams, you need sometimes, you know, the luck of the whistle, a little bounce of the ball. Sometimes you need it, Webby, and I agree with you. You need to put yourself in those positions, and you can't cough up those leads in the fourth quarter. But in games that are so tight, you need the help sometimes.
Okay, I will say that you can't talk about the Raptors without talking about the officiating. So do you think that there's something against the Canadian team?
No, I don't. I think this has been a complex of Raptors.
Yes.
Burst
air, buddy.
This has been an inferiority complex of
100%.
Canadians and Raptors fans in particular for the entire existence of this franchise.
That's true.
Every team gets jobbed. Every team. Sure, the call against Corey Joseph on that rebound was brutal. Terrible call.
Same with the
But
I'm not even
every
Here's the
team's
thing
bad
about
calls.
NBA officials. They're bad for everybody.
Everybody.
There's no team that you can look at and says, you know what, they get the calls.
Oh, you know,
Except
the last
for
guy,
LeBron.
LeBron and Jordan are the only guys who get the calls.
And you know, just to
D
set-
Wade in the finals against Dallas in 04.
really bad stuff.
But
A
so like,
lot
he's-
of calls.
And just to go back on
But
against
he's not
myself,
Canadian. He's not a
No,
Raptor.
you guys are right. And to go back against myself, you know, the Raptors, how many free throws did they shoot that game? There was an abundance. They shot maybe
For sure.
25, 30. It was just that late
I just
portion
want-
of the game. It always seems to go against
Don't
the
put yourself in
Raptors.
that position then. Play better defense.
30 free throws.
Have
is
a
lot.
better
They were getting the
offensive
calls
set than
until
settling for DeMar DeRozan fadeaway jump shots.
DeMar drove to the tin, got that layup to go. He went straight to the basket. He didn't get the call. There should have been a foul there.
But
There was
I'm
no
not
foul.
even- I'm
And
not
I don't
even-
want to be an apologist, but I'm sorry. Sometimes you gotta call the spade a spade.
I'm not even talking about those plays against Golden State because honestly there was some flaws in their play and that's why they lost. But let's talk about the Knicks game. Carmelo Anthony was clearly out of bounds. I would like to see at least 20 seconds put on the clock the next time that those teams.
But that's just bad
See
officiating.
what I'm
That's
saying?
not
Oh, now
anti-Raptor.
it's bad official.
No,
I
it's not.
know, right?
The NBA's got an officiating problem.
Right.
Let's think about if people think that the Raptors in particular are getting jobbed because we're from Canada and they don't want a team from Canada to be successful because they won't get the same sort of marketing revenue. Think about how big that corruption And that sort of scandal would have to, how many people would have to run through?
Exactly.
Adam Silver would have to be on
Yeah,
it, all
yeah.
the officials would have to be
You
on
think
it.
I'm discounting
It's
any
weird.
of this?
Yeah,
All
that's
that-
the thing with
I would
this
never put
conspiracy.
anything past David Stern, Adam Silver, the NBA for all the stuff that I've seen as a fan over the past 26 years.
You're giving a sports league way too much credit for
I
being
would.
smarter than
They're
they
very,
actually
they're
are.
very smart and they like to make that moolah.
No, get out. No.
Tim
Yes.
Donaghy was one bad apple. We know about him. We know about Scott Foster. There were maybe 2 in the last 2 decades that have been corrupt.
Yeah.
Let's not paint the entire league with one brush.
The cuddly teddy bear, the Dick Vivetta guy, everybody loves him. He's running races with Charles Barkley.
Kiss him on the lips.
That's right. Tim Donaghy, I don't know if he's trying to out the dude now, but he said he'd get phone calls from David Stern. He wanted Vivetta on the game to do the job in the playoffs.
Of
Make
course.
sure the Lakers got through. And I've had enough of this.
Johnny's
The
not
league
standing
doesn't
for
care enough about the Raptors to be like,
That's
listen,
why
we
they
gotta make
want
sure the
them to
Raptors
lose.
No,
And let's be
stop
honest,
it.
if you want to talk about who's got one of the biggest fan bases, the Raptors have one of the biggest fan
it's a
bases.
country
It's a-
behind
so, yeah.
the team.
Them
Maple Leaf
having
Sports and
success.
Entertainment, they prove it time and time again. You get them into that little bit of success, and you make them crumble, and we'll keep coming back.
Conspiracy
I
theory
know.
over here.
Give him a
He's thinking
tinfoil
of it.
hat.
I know.
honestly.
You know?
There's pyramids drawn somewhere.
Yo, aliens are just floating above the
Yeah,
apartment.
Fahrenheit
I see what
9/11
you're
right here,
up to. I
like,
see what
come
you're up
on.
to, NBA.
Let's be honest, this isn't a championship team.
No.
either. Like, it's
No.
so easy to come into the season and have these rose-colored glasses on
That's
and
right.
say, you know what? If this guy, and this
Yeah.
guy all have
There's
career
a lot of
years,
ifs.
we're going to the ship.
Yeah.
I will tell you though, the offseason moves that they made though are looking pretty good so
Yeah,
far.
they are.
Harrell's been great.
Yeah.
Skoll has been really
Awesome.
good, and Corey Joseph, you can't say enough off the bench. Like replacing
Well,
what Gravis gave you
look at
the
what-
last couple of
Completely.
years.
Look at the system that Corey Joseph
Yeah, that's
came
true.
from.
Came
I
You
know.
want to know what I think the biggest issue with the Raptors is still and was last year is Dwayne Casey.
Yeah,
We're talking about a guy.
No, that's 100%.
honestly.
They're not going to go.
Shame.
They're not going to go
Let me tell you
anywhere
guys.
until
We're
they
talking
have
about-
If you guys want Dwayne to fix the situation, right? You guys can't pick on this and that. We got the right players in the system now. I don't think they're going to be as great as a team as they're going to be last year in the regular season. Be much better in the playoffs.
Guys, stay tuned because Mike Babcock will be coming through.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
it.
Make it a little-
And then
He's
whoever's
got
going to
all-
coach the Argos. I don't know who it is, but I'm sure Johnny G can do
And
it.
in all seriousness, though, guys, like you talk about this team compared to last year. We had the We the Fourth last year, where they have those Lou Williams scoring
Yeah.
runs in
Yeah.
the fourth quarter. They don't have that production off the bench anymore, so that's why I don't think they're gonna be as good in the regular season. But when it comes to playoff time, you guys talk about all those additions. Corey Joseph, Bismack, those are guys that are gonna clog the lane. They're gonna collapse on defense, and it's gonna equal to at least maybe a win, at least one round of a win.
If not,
You think they're
If
making
no-
the playoffs?
They're making the playoffs. The playoffs is not even a joke.
No.
They're
I mean,
making the
it's
playoffs.
East here. It's East.
This-
Us, all 5 of us.
Even with the NBA against them, they're making the playoffs.
But the thing is, if they don't get out of the first round, Casey's out.
That's
And
right.
Casey's like, to give Casey a lot of credit, he's done a
A
really great job
Yeah,
as a transition coach.
of course.
But this team isn't going to make a step until they get a real NBA caliber
Elite, you want
championship.
an elite level coach.
He's-
I need
There are
to go.
fundamental flaws with him, right? Last season, we had so many times you couldn't even inbound the ball last season.
Late
The
games.
plays
Yeah.
late in games, the plays late in shot clocks or late in quarter. How many times did we see Lou Williams ISO step back shots?
And that's what I mean.
Terrible,
Yeah.
terrible low percentage possessions.
Yeah.
And these are fundamental issues with Casey that I don't see changing.
But here's the thing: there's so many good coaches too who
Sitting
right
on the
now
sidelines.
are without a job.
Yeah.
Oh,
And if you could
Thibodeau.
get a
speaking
Van,
of
Yeah.
coaches.
if you could get a Mchale, a Van Gundy,
And really-
Thibodeau.
Really, all you want
Yeah.
too is you want some sort of identity for your team.
Right.
And when Casey first came, there was a defensive identity. And last year they lost that.
Yeah.
They were one of the worst defensive teams in the league.
But was that
They didn't
game-
get an identity until Paul Pierce gave them one
It
in the
seemed
playoffs.
as though they became reliant on the fact that they knew the East was easy and they knew that they can kind of possibly slip up there and then they get their butts blown out by the
Oh,
Warriors.
Mass-
Wait,
That's
so
why
hold
blamed
on, their
himself on this.
their identity now is that the
They don't have it.
we're
That is it.
we're the team that gets their ass kicked by Paul Pierce. That's the identity.
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
Raptors.
Back to the Casey firing thing, though, Masai put it on himself. You know, that having those players, having
Right.
that personnel. And now if the players don't perform, it's on Casey.